from the source where the goods are, way that they will transfer. Because when you are talking of cost, you are talking of the least. You don't want to incur costs, high costs in doing business. You are talking of the least cost. But when you are talking of profit, you know, you are looking at the highest, where the maximization, where the profit is in a higher level for profit. But this one, we are talking of cost. So in doing this transportation model, there's something they call initial assignment. And this initial assignment is of three types. We have the least cost method, the northwest corner. Oh God. The least cost method. The northwest corner and the Vaga approximation method, but the one that commonly used are the least cost method and the northwest corner. That's the one that I commonly use in this transportation model. And this transportation model, before you start assigning, because in that there's a column, let's say in a table form, where they have the column and the row, where you assign the when and the demand, the capacity and the requirement and the capacity. That's the quantity of goods you have and the where is supposed to be delivered. That's those that need it. Then there's something they call minimization case. Because, and they're looking at minimization case. There's three things that you bear in mind. The first thing is the different sources and their capacity. Different sources meaning the origin where you are bringing those quantity, those goods, and capacity meaning the quantity you are bringing. Another one is the different destination and the total quantity of goods required in each destination. Meaning different destination, meaning different places that you are going to deliver those material or goods being produced. And again, the total, that is the number that you are going to distribute. Then the final is the unit cost of transporting goods from that different source, meaning the cost that you incur in each destination that you are delivering the products. That's the three things in minimization case that I'm going to look at. In that, you know, I told you they have column and row. In the column is normally 3. That is the 3 column. Then row is 3. So the formula is now n plus n minus 1. That's n plus n minus 1, meaning the 3 column plus the 3 row minus 1. The answer will be 5. 5. When you, after assigning those quantity to those, the people that need it, the destination, then we call it occupy cells. And after explaining this thing, we do example that you now understand it well. We normally call it occupy cell. Those quantity you are delivering in each point, those points that are being delivered, you being delivered those goods, they call it occupy cells. And that occupy cell, after the sharing those quantity you have, which you are checking the requirement. First of all, before you start even sharing those quantity to those that require those goods, you first of all count the number of goods that you have. Maybe the number is 200, and the requirement, those that need it, they are 200. Do you understand? It means it is equal, because that's the first thing you will check. When you check the requirement and the capacity, if it is not equal, you now put dummy. You normally call it dummy. That dummy will help to when you assign dummy, then you now check the difference that made it something not to be equal. You now put it. When you put it, you make sure that both sides they are equal before you start assigning, because that's the first thing you will check to know whether the requirement and the capacity, whether they are equal. If it's not equal, you now check if it's the capacity that is not equal. You now add the difference in the capacity. And when you're adding it, the cost you are now going to put is 0, 0, 0. And in real life, that dummy when you assign good there, it's not real. It's irrelevant. You normally see it as irrelevant because in real life situation, is the dominant, is not real, but is not real. So after checking it, then the next thing you are going to check is degeneracy. That is the one I'm trying to explain before I talk of the capacity and the requirement. The degeneracy now, in the sense, you check because M is 3, N is 3. 3 plus 3 minus 1, which will give you 5. After assigning those goods, we call it occupied cells. You now check the number of those goods that you assign and check whether they are equal to that 5. If they are equal to 5, you know it's okay. But if they are not equal, you know you have a degenerate case. There's a situation where you normally have that degenerate case, in the sense that when you are doing iteration, that is repeating the table, because the first one might not be optimal. And when you are doing maximization case, how you know that is optimal is that after the occupied cells, you now check the unoccupied cells. And that unoccupied cells, when you are checking it, when you are talking of minimization, it must be plus or 0. That is, you now know that it is optimal. But when you are doing maximization, for you to know whether it's optimal, you check the unoccupied cell. We will still do it. After explaining it, we do example that you now understand what I mean. You check the unoccupied cells. After checking the unoccupied cell, then for it to be, you're talking of maximization now, for it to be optimal, it must be minus or 0. But when you are doing the minimization case, for it to be optimal, it must be all the occupied cell will be plus. Unoccupied cell, I mean to say, unoccupied cell will be plus or 0. That is how you now know it is optimal. And what I mean that when I say that degeneracy case might occur when you are doing iteration, that is because after the first table, it might not be optimal. You now reverse. You repeat the table again. The second one might be, that's where you might have degenerate case, where after the occupied cells, it might not reach up to 5. It might be 4. That's where you now say you have a degenerate case. It do happen. It normally, maybe second table, third table, till it's optimal. Then that's all about. Then let's now go forward and do good. Again, then we are talking of cost. When you're talking of cost, you are looking at the cost. You are looking at way to minimize your cost, because I told you that anything about cost, you are looking at minimizing it. You don't like, a businessman will not like a situation you incur high cost. Is looking at maximization. You know, you are trying to look at the profit. And when you're looking at the profit, you are looking at the higher level, where you make a good profit, you know. You're talking of optimal, higher, maximum, you know. Then, in that case, when you are looking at the profit, before you assign, because it's a profit own, because we're still going to do it, but let me explain it because when we start doing it now, you won't be confused. When you are doing the profit, you first of all change the table to relevant relative cost. It must be in cost because you look at cost for you to deliver those goods. After everything, that is now when you come back to know whether the profit is high or not. We'll still do it. Let's continue with the cost so that I won't confuse you. Let's take it one after the other. After doing the cost, we do the profit. Then let's now go look at this first example. Let's now use it in your module. Let's use that first example. They say a product is produced at 3 plants and shipped to 3 warehouses. The transportation cost per unit are shown in the table below. Then the plants, W1, 2, 3. You see the capacity, you see warehouse demand. The warehouse, those are demanded. The capacity, the ones, capacity means the quantity that you have available. Then when you check the P1, the plant for P1, you have the cost. That cost meaning the cost of transporting the plant of 1. When you check the row, the W1 is the cost is 20. Let's say 20,000. Let's say it is in thousand. Let's say 20,000. The second one, 16,000. The third one, it will cost you 24,000 to deliver it. And the capacity that you have is 300. Let's say 300,000 worth of goods. Then when you check the second plant, the cost for transporting it is, let's say 10,000. The other one, 10,000, then 8,000. Then the capacity you have is 500,000 worth of goods. Then the third one, you have 12,000, 18,000, 10,000. And the capacity you have is 100,000. Then that's the warehouse. The warehouse meaning the demand, the warehouse demand of the good. Those that demanded this W1, they demanded 200. The W2 demanded 400. Then the W3 demanded 300. Based on what I said, the first thing you will do is to check whether the capacity is equal to the demand. Meaning you add the capacity you have. 300 plus 500 plus 100 will give you 900. Then the demand, those that demanded it, to check whether it is equal first. Those that demanded it, when you check 200, the W1 demanded 200, W2 demanded 400, W3 demanded 300. So when you add it, 200 plus 400 plus 300, we also give you 900, which means that those that demanded and the quantity you have, they are equal. It is equal because the ones you supply, the supply is equal to the demand. That is simply what it means, is equal. In a situation where the capacity is greater than the demand, what you now do is you now put dummy. You call it dummy. Dummy meaning it means you are now trying to put value that will make up the demand so that it will be equal to the capacity. So in this thing, you now put dummy and add it in the row side. Put the quantity that is lower than this thing to make it up. Then when you do it, you make sure they are equal. You call it dummy because dummy, you use dummy in order to make it up. Then after it now, you now use, because I told you that initial assignment, they have 3 types. You have the one least cost method, northwest corner, and Flagger this thing. But the one I commonly use is least cost method and this thing, which I've already explained, the balancing of the payoff matrix, which the one I say, knowing whether they are equal first. You know whether they are equal. So the next thing now you will do, initial assignment, now ask me those that demand least cost method. In the situation you are using least cost method, which means that you are assigning deliver the goods. You first of all check the one that the cost will not be much, the least cost. That's the first one. You will now say, okay, the cost of going to, assuming that you are transporting Enugu, let's take it to let's say Onitsha. Do you understand? You say, okay, let's check the you take it to Onitsha. Some people for check that for me to the first place that I will go, that the cost will be very small. You not say from Enugu to 9th Mile, I think the cost will be low. Let me first deliver, give the 9th Mile people their own goods. You not say, okay, after 9th Mile, which place will I even deliver again that the cost will not be much? You say, okay, let me give maybe Nsukka, because Nsukka is closer and the cost will not be much. Do you understand? Which the cost will be low, that you won't incur much cost. That's the least cost. That's the one, what you have been checking. That's the one that I will deliver and I won't incur much cost. That is what you are considering in assigning it. So based on our example now, the first, the assignment now, when you check it, the first row where we say P, the second one, P2, the second row, P3 is the third row. Then when you check out the column, the W1 is the first column, W2 is the second column, and W3 is the third column. That's the column, the capacity, where the row is the demand, those that demanded it. Then when you look at the example now, when you look at this thing, you know, the least cost here now is in the second row, that's P2. Second row, P2, and the third, where is 8? The one that is the cost is 8. Let's say 8,000. Is in 1,000. You know, as when you are checking it, which is, let's say, 8, let me first of all give these people their own, because the cost is small. Before you now look at the other people that we, then when you when you check the column, for that under the 8, it fall on the W3, and what they demanded, the W3 demanded is 300, maybe say 300,000 goods. Then, and the row, which is P2, is where you get the least cost. You now assign 300, because the column, they need 300, but you're assigning it on that 8, because that 8 is the cost. That's 8,000, is smaller than 10,000, because when you check the P2, when you look at the P2 now, the 8 is the least cost there. After 8 now, the another least cost now is 10. Then you first of all assign the 300, but you know is in the column W3, and what they demanded there is 300. So the column for W3 has occupied. You have assigned the quantity there. They don't need again there. Then you now check again that row, which least cost, that is where you will also see least cost. You have 10. Even the other one, in that is each of them has least cost 10, 10. And their demand, the first, the one that follow the 8, the demand is 400. And the remaining goods that you will supply is 200, because you already assigned 300. You remain 200. Then the other one following also remain 200. So you can assign it at any of them. So when you assign the first one, which is 200, then the remaining quantity they need is 200, because it's 400. Then you assign it. The remaining quantity now is 400. Then you still assign the balance, which is another 200 to make it 400. Then you now check after the other one, you now check the least cost again, where the cost is small. Then when you check the P3, where in the last one, you also have 10,000, but you can't assign anything again because the demand you have assigned all what they demanded. So no need of putting again because it will be more than what they demanded. Then you check another where there's least cost again. Yeah, based on that row, the P3, you will see the cost 12,000. 12,000 is smaller than 18,000. Then, and you know that they need 200. The capacity you have there is 100. You just assign that 100. So what the remaining demand that you are going to give them is 100. Then you now go up. When you go up now, you check the least cost again in that P1. The least cost there is 16,000. And you know, you already, in that column, you already assigned 200. So the remaining demand, you balance it is 200. You now give them 200. So the remaining capacity, which is 100, you now assign it to the 20,000. Because 20,000 to make it up to 200, you are finished assigning. That's what they call initial assignment. Initial assignment meaning that to assign those capacity based on the demand, and you are finished assigning it. The second thing you are not going to check is the degeneracy, which I said. Degeneracy, when you check the column now, column is 1, 2, 3. The row is 1, 2, 3, which is 3 plus 3 minus 1, which will give you 5. Then, which is 5. Now check those occupied cells to know whether it's 5. Then when you look at the P1, they have 2, 1, 2. Under 20, you have occupied cell. Under 16, the cost, you have occupied cell. Then when you check the P2, under 10, you have occupied cell. Under 8, you have occupied cell, which make it 4. Then the last one, under 12, you have occupied cell, which is 5, which means the M plus this is 5. We have 5 occupied cell, which means it is okay. There is no degenerate case in that situation because the formula M plus 3 minus 1 is 5, which means there is 5 occupied cells, which means there is no degenerate case. It is okay. Then what's the next thing is now to look for opportunity cost table. For you to look for opportunity cost, you first of all look for, there's something they call UI and VI. This UI and VI, we call it implied cost because you are the one that will imply the cost. Implied cost. But this one, under this box, the one is actual cost, the one given already. We call it actual cost. But the U and V, the column, you put that one U1. Then the row, you put it VJ. UI and VJ represent implied costs. Why? The CIJ, which is the actual cost. CIJ means actual cost, the one already given. So what will you do now? For you to get the unoccupied cell, you will first of all use the occupied cell to imply this cost that will help you get the unoccupied cells. Then what will you do now? The first of all, you will do the first row, you assign, that's UI, you assign 0. Because the first thing you do is to assign 0. That's the first thing. That 0 will now help you to put the other one. When you assign 0, you now say 0 plus this cost, because what you are doing now, you are checking the occupied cells. So I use it to occupy. You now say 0 plus the the cost in the occupied cell. The first one that is 20,000. You know, occupied cell is 100. Let's say 100,000. Let's just 16. And the quantity you deliver there is 20. With the zero plus the actual cost given, you get 20, which is the VJ. Then 0 plus 16, you will get 16. Then you now come to the second one. How will you get the second one? You will say, because what you are determining, you are using the occupied cell to get all these things. The second row now, which is P2, where you have occupied cell is under the cost of 10 and the cost of 8. You now say, okay, under the cost of 10, which is 200, the implied cost there under it is 16. You now say, okay, and the cost there is 10. You now ask yourself, what will I take away from this 16 in order to get this actual cost that is 10? You now say it is minus 6. Because when you say 16 minus 6, you will still arrive at this, your 10, which is the actual cost. I know you see using the VJ, UJ, but why I'm explaining, so when you read it now, you now know, okay, this is why VJ, UJ, what is mean. I know how I'm piecing it now. Just explain it in a layman so that you understand it well. So you now ask yourself, what will I take away from this 16 in order to get this my actual cost, which is 10? You say, okay, it is minus, you say 16 minus what? We give you 10. You say it's 16 minus 6. That is why you now see put minus 6 here. Because when you say 16 minus 6, you get your actual cost. Then you know that in the VJ, the last one, you don't know what VJ is. You already have minus 6. But you don't know what the implied cost for the last VJ we have. You are the one that will put that one. Because the first one you apply 0. The only thing you say 0 plus 20, you get 20. 0 plus 16, you get 16. Then the third one, you don't know it. You are the one that will imply it. How will you imply it? You said, okay, because actually you put minus 6 here, which say minus 6, 16 minus 6 will give you 10. You now say, okay, for us to get the 8 is already here. What will I take away from this minus 6 for me to arrive at this cost that is 8? That is why you now get 14. Because when you say 14 minus 6, you arrive at 8. That is the implied cost here. Then you now say the last one, which is P3. You now ask yourself, under 20, the cost there, the actual cost there is 12. You now ask yourself, what will I put at UJ under P3? So that when I deduct 20, it will give me this actual cost that is 12. That is why it is minus 8. Because when you say 20 minus 8, you arrive at this 12. I know why I'm explaining it. So when you read it, you see how we explained it. Even though there is some mistake in that. That's why I'm explaining it. When you go down and there is some mistake. So they understand me so that when you are reading it, you also detect the mistakes in that thing. Because the people that, somebody that did prepare this thing, is not is a human being. At times, he might be tired. There's some mistakes. But that's why I'm explaining it, for you to understand it and know it. So that when you know it, when you are reading it, you even detect the mistake. So that is how you have gotten the implied cost for unoccupied cells using the occupied cells. For you now to get the, because what you are looking at is you are looking at whether the opt is optimal, and I cost will be the implied cost will be positive or zero. That is for it you now know it is optimum case. Just you understand? Register it in your head, Pam. That is where you know it is minimal. Then after getting this thing now, you are now going to now get the opportunity or optimal, know whether it's optimal. But before you know whether it is optimal, this first table now, you will check the cost of transporting this thing. When you check the cost of all transporting this thing, the first table, you will now compare it. If it is optimal, good. But if it's not optimal, when you do iteration, that you revise the table and do another second table, you will not also check the cost to check, to not know the difference, whether the first one is better than the second one, or the second one is greater than. You now say 200 times 16 in the first E1, because you are using the occupied cells to check the total cost. Then P2, under P2, 200 times 10, and the other one, 300 times 8. Then the last one, 100 times 12. When you check it, you now know determine the total cost. In this one, after timesing it, the total cost there is 10,800. Then that is the total cost, 10,800. And we have checked the general, which I say it does not have the general case because it's 5 occupied cells. Then you now check the opportunity cost table using the implied costs, because that is what you check. After it, you now know whether it is off. So then checking those opportunity costs now using the unoccupied cells, because you're using the unoccupied cells to check it. You first of all say that's unoccupied cell because you have checked for occupied cells. Then you say the cost, which is the actual cost, minus UJ plus VJ. Because UJ plus VJ is the implied cost, the one you're implied. So the first table now, checking the row, the P1. The P1, you know, when you check the P1, occupied cell, you have 2 occupied cells there, the 100 and 200, and the cost there is 20 and 16. Then the third one, which is 24, it doesn't have any cell there. So we call it unoccupied cells. It will now represent unoccupied cell, which we now use to check the opportunity cost table, which will help you to know whether it is optimal or not. So how do you calculate the opportunity cost table? You will say the actual cost minus the implied cost, which implied cost meaning the UI plus the VI, because that's the implied cost. You are the one that implied those costs. Then the first one now, you now say 24. You know, 24 is the one that is unoccupied cell. You now say 24 minus the one you imply. The first one implied is the UI is 0. Then VI 1 is 14. which we say 24 minus 0 plus 14 will give you 14. When you say 24 minus 14, you will get 10, and it's plus 10. Then the second one, which is unoccupied cell, which is 10, minus, when you check the implied cost, you get minus 6. When you say 20 minus 6, you get minus 14. When you say 10 minus 14, do you understand? Then the third one is 16 minus 8, because you are checking the actual cost. You take it away from the implied cost, and the implied cost is UI and VI, which is VI minus. When you check the difference, you now deduct it from the actual cost. Then the third one, you get 10. Then the other one, the last one, you will get 4. Then when you check it, and I say when you're looking at the minimization, when it is optimal is when everything is plus or 0. But when you check it now, you will still see that there is still minus. And when you get that minus is under 10, actual cost, that is 10. What will you now do? Because you will now still revise the table. Under it, now you check that when you get that minus is under P2, under row P2. That is where the cost of 10 is unoccupied cell. So what you do now, how you now revise the table is that place that is minus, you will put it, because either you do it in a rectangular form or in square form. When you are reading, you see how I explained it. We explained it. But I just want to explain. So when you read, because I want when you, after this thing now, go and look at this thing so that you understand it more. Either you do it in a rectangular form, you look at the opposite cell where the occupied cell, you know, where you have, based on that, the place you have minus in that unoccupied cells, which is P2 under 10. That is where it is minus. That place, you now say, you put that one plus, put that place plus. Up there, you put it minus. Then the one that follow it, you put it plus. Then the down, you put it minus. That you do it in a square form. When you go back to that module now, you see how we explain it. But I'm explaining so that when you are reading it, you understand it more. What do I mean by that place? You now find that it is not optimal, which you detect minus. You make that place plus, which is under P2, under 10. That place, unoccupied cell. That place you put it plus, meaning that you will now add assigned cell there. That plus you are putting is that you will now revise the cell you assign. The place you get minus, you now assign cell there. Meaning that when you put plus there, it means that you will say assign cell there. Then up it, you put it minus. Then the one that follow it, you put it plus. Then down one, you put it minus. So in that case now, you now reassign the quantity now. When you assign this place, you put plus. When you put 100 there, this place now, up there that you put minus, there nothing will be there again. The place that you put plus, you now add that 100 that you remove in that 20. It means that when you remove the 100 you have in that cost of 20, you put it in the cost of 16, it will now be 300. Already you have removed you come to that place that is 200, the under 10 that is 200. In that one will be minus. You remove 100 there, it will now be 100, because already you have added 100 in this one. You added 100 in this one, and you remove 100 in this, the up one. When you remove 100 in up one, you put it in the the next one, which is the one that is 200, it will now be 300 under the cost of 16. The cost of 20, there's nothing there. There will be nothing there again because you have removed it. The one that you know that there is it is not optimal, the unoccupied cell, the way you find that there is minus, that is where you put plus, meaning that you add cell there. Then it means that you will now assign 100 there. When you assign 100 there, up it, the upper, this, the one that is up, opposite it up, you now remove that 100 under the cost of 2020. You now put it in the cost of 16, meaning that cost of 16, now you have 300 quantity there. When you come down under it, you remove the 100 there. It means the under 10, it will now be 100. When it is 100, you say 300 plus 100, we also make the 400. You are putting 100, you remove 100. 100 plus 100 will also be 200. So what you now do, you first of all find the cost. The cost of it now. The cost now will now be 100 times 10. 100, because you are checking the occupied cell. When you say 100 times 10, you know what it means, because you have if you add, when you this you remove, when you go back, you look at that very well, you understand it more because I've explained it. So what you now do now, you now check the cost. Then you know, because F low, which is P1, you know, in the 20, the one the cost, there's no cell again because you have removed it. So you won't say the 20 being the cost, you have removed the cell, nothing is there again. So when you go to the second one, which is the under P1, you know, you add, it is 200 before, but you have added 100 there, which is 300. You now say 300 times 16. Then when you come down, already 10 now, you know, before is unoccupied cell, but now it is now occupied cell, because that is where you dictate that minus, which now means you now add cell there. That is what it means. So you now have 100 there. You say 100 times 10. Then the next one there, you have removed 100 there, because you say when you remove. It was 200 before, but now it's now 100. You now say 100 times 10. You now know what it is. Then the next one, you now say 300 times the other one, 100 times 12. You now check it to know how much is this. When you check the first cost and second, the first cost was 10,800. But after the second cost is 10,400. Have you seen that the cost has reduced? You know, the cost has reduced. Then you still do all the things we did in the first one, which when you check the first one, you now use the occupied cell to get the implied cost, as I said. Then the first one, you now apply 0. When you are applying 0, you say 0 plus 16, we give you 16. Then you said the second one, you still apply this cost. You know, already you have 16. You say, okay, and the cost there is 10. You say, what will I put from this, you now put this one, it's my 10. You know, that's why you put minus 16 for you to get that 10. Just devise how you did it in the other one. Just put it. What will I put to get this one? then when you put 14 minus this, when you say 14 minus 4, you still get the cost of 10. So you just revise it as you did it at the other one. Then after it, now you now check for the opportunity cost table, which you are now using the implied cost. Using the you want to get the implied cost, the one using unoccupied cells, because you are using unoccupied cells to find the opportunity cost. That is where you now know whether it is optimal or not. All those unoccupied cells is what we are going to use based on what we did the first time. Then, which is, you now say the actual cost minus UI minus VI, which is, you know, UI, VI is the implied cost, because you are the one that applied it. You are the one that assigned the cost. But the other one is the actual one, the one given. So you still do it as we did it. Then when you check the second one now, when you are after you are deducting now, the 20 being the unoccupied cell minus 16 will give you 4, which is plus 4. The second one, 24 minus, because when you say 14 plus 0, it is 14. When you say 24 minus 14, it gives you 10. Then the third one, that is where there's a mistake. That is supposed to be plus 6. But you know it's a mistake. When you check it, you also know it's, because when you say 16, 16 minus 4 will give you 12. When you say 18 minus 12, you will now arrive at 6. It is not minus 6, it's 6, because it's a mistake. Then the last one, when you say 14 minus 4, which is will give you 10. When you say 10 minus 10, it is 0. And I told you that when you're talking of minimization, it's everything will be plus or 0. So when you check the second table now, you now say that it is optimal because everything is plus and or 0, because everything we get is plus and 0. That you now say it is optimal. And you know that the second table, when it is optimal, the cost still reduced. Because the first one was 10,000, it cost you 10,800 to deliver all those things. But the second one, when you now reassign, it costs you 10,400. That is all about minimization case. I want you, when you go, you read it very well. Let's now, at the same hand, talk of the, when you are, you know, we're talking, we talked about the cost, what they cost. But when you look at, and in the same, in other way around, you now say, okay, let me even look at the profit. This one now, we are trying to know the profit, what we gain. But the other one, we are trying to minimize the cost in delivery. But in this second example, you are trying to know, after everything, to know your profit, whether your profit, you get profit. So when you look at the second illustration, that's the one they said, Denver, Atlanta, and Chicago. In that table, St. Paul, Dallas, Boston, then I just want you read it very well and know how it is. So before you talk of the profit, you will first of all, let me explain now, because if it's something like this came out in the exam, when you give something like this, you first of all, the first thing you will do is to change it to relative cost matrix. Those profits, change it to relative cost matrix. How did you change it to relative cost matrix? You look at those, because all these things they gave you is profits, the origin and the capacity, meaning the profit that we make when you deliver to Boston, you get a profit of maybe seven, let's say 7,000. If it's in 1,000, you get a profit of 11,000, 8,000, 13,000, 20,000, 17, 12,000, 10,000. All these things you are seeing is profit. But before you look at the profit, because first of all, before you make profit, you will incur costs. There's no profit. You can't just make profit without incurring costs. Some of you are business people. You can't tell me that that all your business profit. You must incur costs. But when if you're a businessman that plans, you now know that if I'm doing this profit, I'm looking at the least cost, where I will incur a lower cost and I still make my good profit. That is the reason of a rational businessman, what it takes for me to incur the least cost in order to get a good profit. First of all, because you can't just get profit without incurring costs. So that is why you will not change it to relative cost, cost, the highest profit. Now you use the highest profit, you deduct the highest profit using the highest profit, where you say Atlanta, the first column there, you see the highest profit is 20. Let's say 20,000. What will you now do? You now say 20,000 minus 20,000, which is 0. You now say in that first column now, you say 20 minus 7, it will give you 13. In the same column, you say 20 minus 8, it will give you 12. 20 minus, that one has finished. Then the other one, you say the same 20, because you take the highest profit and use it and deduct from others. You now say 20 minus 11, you now get 10. You get 9. The same 20 minus 17, you get 3. 20 minus 18, you get 2. 20 minus 8, that is how you use it and deduct it in all. Then again, you know, I told you before that before you do it, you will check the capacity and the requirement, whether they are equal. That is the balancing of the matrix. You check whether it is equal to balance it. If it is not equal, you use what you call dummy to use it and balance it. And dummy in a real life situation, it is not real. It's not in existence. Any assignment any cell you assign there, you regard it as it's not realistic. It is dummy, it's dormant, because in a real life situation, it is insignificant. But in a learning process, you now use it. So what you now doing is now check the capacity. Let's calculate the capacity now, relate it with the requirement to know whether it is balanced. 100 plus 100, which is, but when you say 100, 120 plus 8 will give you 1, plus 6 will give you 18, plus this will give you 260. Have you seen that it's not balanced? When you check the requirement, the capacity is greater than the requirement. What will you now do? You will now add dummy in the column side. When you add dummy in the column side, so that you balance the row, you now check the difference and add it for it to balance. But when you are assigning any cell, you just assign that it is dormant, because in a real life situation, it's not real. It just, but in a learning process, you use it. Then, actually, because we have changed it to relative cost method, that in this thing, just understand me. Then use that first process we did in order to do it. In this one, there's a lot of mistake. But use that first process to do it. I don't need to explain it again, because once you change it to relative cost matrix, then because you're using least cost method, still use the least cost method to check the least cost among it and start assigning. Because in the dummy, you have seen that there's no cost there. You still assign. You assign, the first one is 100. You assign 90. Then you now check the least cost, the remaining cost, the least cost that you assign. Then you follow it up based on what I explained. After assigning, because what you are talking about now is profit, it is not cost. After assigning, you still do what I did. And I say that for you to get the optimality in profit, in maximization, everything must be minus or 0. You know, in minimization, everything is plus or 0. But in maximization, everything must be minus or 0. But what I'm trying to explain to you, for you now to check, because after everything, assign the cells. When you assign the cells, for you to know whether the profits, you check your profits. Like this one they did, but when you go home, do it on your own, because there's a lot of mistake in this. Use the first thing I explained. Use the first table and do it. Assign it using the least cost. Because when you use this table, it will confuse because there are a lot of mistakes. But use the knowledge you got from the first thing I explained. But what I want to explain now that, because the first table, after we check the cost to know whether the cost we incur is big or not. But this one now, it is profit we are talking about. After assigning it, you still use the occupied cell to determine your profit. But when you are determining it now, you know, when you check even the one I say is wrong, when you check the Atlanta now, the one they say 50, you know, the cost there is 0, because what the profit that was there before is 20. But you know that when you active cost matrix, it is now when you say 20 minus 20. Because taking the highest that was there before, that is what you are going to use. When you are checking the profit, you still go back using the occupied cells. Like when you say 50, it will not be 50 times 20. It won't be 50 times 0. Are you understanding me? The second one, it will be 50 times the initial profit that was there, not even the. But this one is the cost. So when you use this one, you will get it wrong. So you will now go back, when you want to determine the profit, you will go back to that initial table where they gave you the profit and use it to multiply, using the occupied cells. That is the difference there, because it's profit you are trying to get. So after the first profit now, you know what it is, you get. Then you still use the knowledge I told you about the first one to know whether it is optimal or not. Because when you finish the first table, it will, if everything is minus or 0, you know it is optimal. But if when you finish using the unoccupied cells, which I told you, for you to get the opportunity cost table, you use unoccupied cells to determine it, which what we did. We use unoccupied cells to determine it. So after using that occupied cells, unoccupied cells, you now check whether it is minus or 0. You know, the first one, when we are doing, of course, after everything, we check whether everything is plus or 0. That is when you know it is whether it's optimal. But in the profit level, maximization, you check whether everything is minus or 0. That is when you know it is optimal. So if it is not, you revise the table. And when you revise it and still do what I told you about taking minus plus to revise the table, that is assigning cells in that place that is you get plus. Any place that you get plus, you now assign cells there. The next one, either you use it in a rectangular form or square form, any way you like to use it. But when you add any cell in that place you declare there is plus, the next one you are minusing. Then following it, you are adding. Then the next one you will minus. So after everything, you now use it and still do what I said, using unoccupied cell. And after doing it, you still check the profit to check whether it is increasing or decreasing. So using that knowledge, because I want after feeding, do it on your own, using the knowledge you get. You do it on your own to know whether the profit increases or decreases. You now check the optimality. Any questions so far? Any question? Any question?
Daddy.
Hello, ma.
Any question? You are keeping quiet. If there is no question, tell me there is no question.
Hello, ma. Can you hear me, ma?
I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, ma. Please,
Good
is
evening.
there any way you can be showing us this on screen? Like other courses we normally have, the lecturer normally shows this on screen and we follow him. When we have a question, we now ask. Is there any way you can maybe liaise with the IT department so that you can be showing us this on screen? This is calculation. We need to be following you. Thank you.
Okay, you know the problem I have now. The model, this thing I prepared is in my system, but what I'm using to teach you people is just my phone. Do you understand?
I do, and I have checked it my own. I can equally connect to this through my laptop. It's still you can connect to Zoom through your laptop also, man. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. So okay, maybe next one I will show. But this thing I'm saying, okay, but the example, you don't have it. The one I explained.
I have my materials. I saw the first one. It's just that to me, to be honest, this is my first time seeing this transportation model. So
Okay, this is your first
I
time seeing. But
yes,
all the why I'm explaining, did you understand anything at all?
yeah, I did. Maybe when I
Sure,
read
you
it,
do.
yes.
Good. That's why I say, because I use the example to teach. All those things I'm saying. When you now go back, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Good. Even if I show you or not, all those things I'm explaining, because how I teach my own is I've known this thing. I know that there's an example there. I'm just explaining because use my knowledge, you know, it's my knowledge. I know it. But that's why I say after teaching you, go back to your this thing, open it. All those things I say, just read it that immediately. You will see all those things I'm mentioning. Do you understand? Because even if I show you, point it, it's still that thing I say is what I will still show you. But I understand what you mean. Maybe next this thing I will try and know how I will do it. But what I'm trying to say now, if you understand this thing I say, when I finish now, don't go to bed. Go back to those things. Look at it, how we explained it, and all this thing I say. Use it and solve it. You will understand it more. Don't say tomorrow. Just do it this night. Do you understand me? Because when you say tomorrow, you forget.
Mommy, I didn't understand you.
Where didn't you understand, please?
In fact, from the beginning.
From the beginning, you didn't understand anything?
Yes, ma. I was just hearing cell. I didn't know where the cells are.
Did you open the illustration that I'm using to explain?
I opened it.
You open it?
Yes, but not from
the beginning. If you say you didn't understand it, you are hearing say, it means you are busy doing another thing.
I'm not
because
doing anything.
I'm taking this thing gradually, saying it small. It means you are doing another thing. You can't just tell me from the beginning you didn't understand anything I say.
I was not doing anything. I was looking at the screen.
Okay.